Good everyone. Today, we're welcome to another math class. Today, we'll be talking about profit and loss account. When is profit made, and when can we say loss is made? Profit is made when the selling price is greater than the cost price. So we say profit equals selling price minus cost price. That will be our number one formula. Then loss is made when the cost price is greater than the selling price, or the selling price is less than the cost price. So we say loss equals cost price minus selling price. What's selling price? Selling price is the amount with which we want to sell our goods, our product. Cost price is the amount with which we bought it. Now, when the amount with which we are willing to sell is greater than the amount we bought, we make profit. When the amount we are willing to sell is less than the amount we bought, there is losses made. That's number one. So we've seen the relationship between profit, loss, selling price, and cost price. Now there's something called profit percent or gain percent. Profit percent is your profit over your cost price times 100 over 1. Profit percent. Your profit over cost price times the selling price. While loss percent is your loss over cost price times 100 over 1. You want to find the loss percent of a commodity sold, of a good sold. You look at the loss over what you bought times 100 over 1. The gain or the profit percent is the gain you have made over the cost price, the amount we bought it, times 100 over 1. Sometimes we are given selling price, cost price, we are asked to find the loss percent or the profit percent. So when we are given cost price, loss percent or profit percent, we have to find the selling price. We say selling price equals 100 plus profit percent times cost price, if it has to do with gain. But if it has to do with loss, your selling price will be 100 minus your loss percent times cost price. These are the major formulas we'll be using. You are given cost price, you are given the loss percent, but you have to find how much did the person sell. Or sometimes you are given the selling price, you are given the loss percent, and you are asked what is the cost price, how much did the person buy it. These formulas will be used to explain and to explore profit and loss account. Let's look at some questions to buttress what we have to say. The selling price. Here we are given cost price, which is 420. We are given the profit percent, that is 35%. Now we have to find the selling price. Selling price equals 100 plus profit percent times cost price. So 100 plus, what's the profit? 35% times cost price. What's the cost price? 420. So that will give us 135 over 100 times 420. So this will give us 567 naira. If we do this calculation here, 135 over 100 times 420 will give us 567 naira. So the person bought it, sold it at 567 naira after buying at 420. So there is a gain. The gain is the subtraction of 420 from 567. So the selling price will be 567 naira. Another question. By selling a house for the house cost. Here we're given a selling price of 6.9 million naira, and then we're given a profit percent of 15. Then we are asked for the cost price. What's the cost price here? Now, what formula gives us this relationship? The formula that gives us this relationship is selling price equals to 100 plus profit, open and close bracket, percent times cost price. So here, the cost price will be selling price over 100 plus profit times 100 over 1. So what's the selling price? 6.9 million. A profit here is 15. So it will be 115. 15 plus 100, 115. So our answer here will be 6 million. So the cost price here will be 6 million. So the house cost 6 million and it was sold for 6.9 million. So the profit will be 900,000 naira, while the profit percent is 15%. Question. A television is sold for a TV set. The cost price. Here we are given the selling price of 5,670 and we are given a loss percent of 12.5. Then we are asked to find the cost price. The formula that comes to mind is selling price equals 100 minus loss over minus 100 minus loss percent times cost price. So our cost price will be selling price over 100 minus the loss times 100 over 1. Now what's the cost price? 567 over what's the loss percent? 12.5. So 100 minus 12.5 will give us 87.5 times 100 over 1. So our cost price will be, the man bought it at 5,670, that's the cost price, over 100 minus loss is loss. So it has to be subtracted from 100%. So that will be 100 minus 12.5%. So when we take 100 away from 12.5%, 100 minus 12.5, it gives us 87.5. That's 100 over 1. When we do our calculation, what we get will be 6,480. So he bought it at 6,480 and for whatever reason sold it at 5,678. So he had made some losses. So here becomes the answer, 6,480 naira. For an article, find the profit of 12%. That's our question. Here we are given the we are looking for the selling price, but we are given the cost price to be 750 and the profit percent to be 12%. The formula here will be selling price equals 100 plus profit percent times cost price. So selling price will be 100 plus profit percent, that's 100 plus 12% times what's the cost price? 750. So that will give us 112 over 100 times 750 over 1. So selling price will be 840 naira. By the time we are done with the calculation, to give us 840 naira. So he made some profit after buying the article for 750 and he sold it at 840. Question: find the selling price of an article bought for 350 and sold at a loss of 10%. Sold at a loss 10%. So what will be, how do we solve this? The selling price is being asked, is unknown. The cost price is 350 and then the loss is 10%. This tells us that our selling price will be less than 350 because he made a loss. So selling price will be 100 minus the loss, open and close bracket, percent, times the cost price. That will be 100 minus 10, open and close bracket, percent, times the cost price, which is 350. 100 minus 10 is 90 over 100 times 350. This will give us 315 naira. So the selling price here is 315 naira. He bought it at 315 naira and then sold at 350 naira. So hence he made a loss of 10%. Find the selling price of an article bought for 920 naira and sold at a loss of 7.5%. Sold at a loss of 7.5%. Here we are asked for the selling price, but we are given a cost price of 920 and a loss of 7.5%. We use our formula: selling price equals 100 minus loss, open and close brackets, percent, times the cost price. So 100 minus, what's the loss? 7.5, open and close bracket, percent, times 920. So 100 minus 7, that will give us 93. So that will be 92.5, 92.5 over 100 times 920 over 1. So this, the selling price here from this will give us 851 naira. That will be our selling price. He made a loss of 7.5%. So he sold it less than the amount he bought it. 851 naira becomes the answer. The loss naira. Here, this article was bought, cost price, for 30 naira, but it was sold for 42 naira. So there is a gain. So the profit here will be 42 minus 30. That's 12. That's 12 naira. Hence, the profit percent will be profit over cost price times 100 over 1. That will be 12 over, what's the cost price? 30 times 100 over 1. 4 in 12, 3 in 12 is 4. 3 here is 10. So 10 here is 10. So our profit percent will be 40%. Profit percent equals 40%. He made a profit of 12 naira by selling an article that he bought for 30 naira for 42 naira. So profit will be selling price minus cost price which is this, and then the profit we sent will be 12, which is the profit, over the cost price, that's 100 over 1. 760 naira and sold for 665 naira. 665 naira. So here the cost price is 760 naira, while the selling price is 665 naira. So the selling price is less than the cost price. Therefore, he made a loss. And what's the loss? What's the loss? The loss will be cost price minus selling price, and that is 760 minus 665. 760 minus 665 is 5. This is 9. 5 here. This is 9. So he made a loss of 95 naira. Hence, our loss percent will be the loss over the cost price times 100 over 1. That's 95 naira over the cost price 760 times 100 over 1. This will give us 12.5%. So the loss percent equals 12.5%. Loss percent equals 12.58% because the amount he sold was lower than the amount he bought it.